The views and opinions of the hosts and resource persons do not represent those of the organization, the university, and its stakeholders. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh my god, you know what? If there's CLA people like watching this, you know what? If you guys are in the
CCS
CCS
section.
section, Gen Ed subject, we don't hear this from us, but we thank you so much for being there. We
Thank you for
really
reciting.
appreciate, yeah, we really appreciate you guys for reciting because like a lot of us don't really unmute and we don't really recite. It's like some of us really don't know what to say at all. So like having someone being able to recite all the time at any moment was like, oh my god, you're such a blessing to us. You wouldn't notice that, but we thank you so much to all the CLA people out there.
What is up, my fellow geeks of Goks? Welcome to another episode of the Nook podcast. I'm your host for today, ID117's Jarrett Singian. Here with me in this call are the guests for this episode.
Hi everyone, I'm Alan Aboy. I'm ID 119 and I'm currently taking up computer science, specialized in software technology. In LSCS, I'm the AVP for publicity and creatives. Looking forward for this discussion.
Hello, I'm Bea Berenguer. I'm also ID 119 taking computer science major in software technology. And in LSCS, I'm an AVP for social civic.
Hi guys, I'm Jeff Capistrano. I'm ID 117. In LSCS, I'm an AVP for publicity and creatives, but I'm mostly known as that one photographer guy who takes photos during events when we were face to face. So not anymore. So yeah.
So, hello, I'm Sean Yuhico. In LSCS, I am an AVP for University Relations, and I am ID 117 and taking up BS Computer Science.
So before we proceed with the main topic of our discussion, how's everyone doing so far during this academic easing week?
Uh, I mean,
For me, bakit hindi pa nag-break?
true. You know,
Yeah.
true. I mean, there are some professors who called off and did asynchronous classes, but there are some din naman that still had classes. But I think some of those classes understandable because even dati pa we didn't really have that many classes, so understandable. Pero the easing, I guess it was okay. It's like feeling ko the same lang kasi we had assignments pa to do. Quote unquote optional assignments pero not so optional.
Yeah. For me naman, currently stressful kasi midterms na next week. So, syempre, kailangan na mag-review and syempre mag-prepare and all. And syempre, coupled pa with balancing yung org works sa academics and syempre, given our current circumstances na online setting, it's really quite challenging din. Pero kinakaya naman so far.
Well, I guess for me, I can't really say na it's effective 100% because there are some subjects that really don't meet that often because it's already like set by the prof that it's just going to be once a week. So, I think it's more or less the same lang except we didn't have we didn't have deadlines actually. That's it. That's all that happened during academic easing.
For me, parang nausog lang lahat ng deadlines to next week. Pero, ayun, kinakaya naman.
Same for me in a way because luckily all the deadlines have been moved to next week, so I got to rest this whole entire week. But anyways, how's thesis going for you guys?
Um, these Sean, Sean, Sean and I know we know what's happening in thesis. Like we have the same situation right now, so we don't really want to talk about it. But it's we'll have to work a bit harder and like more independently. So we'll have to really try our best and work hard on our thesis.
It's crunch time.
Yeah, it's really crunch time. So
When
yeah,
when again is the deadline? I forgot already.
Defense is
Like-
on third week.
We have to schedule a defense on April 30. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no, wait.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, no. I haven't been checking on deadlines at all. I've been like working on our thesis for a while, especially like the pre-processing and gathering like annotation and
goodness.
stuff like that.
But the
Yeah.
actual defense is around May pa or something. So
Yeah,
second
mga
week of May.
third week.
Okay,
Mga May
okay.
19, May 12 to, what, April? May 17 to 21.
Okay,
So,
okay.
that's thesis week for us, defense week.
Alright. Let's
So,
hopefully
you're more
we'll
than a
get
month.
it done by then.
More than a month, so kaya pa, hopefully. Question mark.
Hopefully.
Let's go.
1 week, 1 month is not that much also for me.
Shh, let's not talk about that. Let's take it week by
Okay.
week muna.
1 month is still 1 month.
So,
1 month is still. So for tonight's episode, we'll be discussing about the College of Computer Studies, specifically its culture and stereotypes found in the college. So please be reminded that all of our opinions are strictly ours and ours alone. So don't associate it with LSCS or the CCS or DSU for that matter. It's all on our own. And also, take whatever we say with a grain of salt. Sometimes we'll be joking, and it might come off serious, but it's just a joke. So please take that in mind as we go on to our discussions for today. I want to ask you guys about CCS culture. Do you think we have a distinct culture compared to the rest of the colleges in DLSU?
For me, I think there's a certain niche I think there is a certain stereotype that CCS has, but there's also stereotypes that's like shared with like mga eng students also. So there's that general stereotype. If you want, do you want me to go to specifics already about it or mamaya pa?
I guess we can start already. Let's go. Let's get into it already.
For me, I guess one of the stereotypes of CCS, I think the general lang, so like we're mostly the laid back ones, I guess, even though we're like stressing over all our MPs and whatnot. When I mean by laid back is like, papasok tayo sa Goks and we had face-to-face class pa, tapos like wala lang, naka pants, plain shirt lang tayo. Tapos we just sit down in Goks, tapos like, do whatever you want. We're just either like watching videos, some people are watching anime, some people are just sleeping there or whatnot. So like, we are like kind of, I wouldn't say disconnected, but like when we have our own world in CCS, so nga, Planet Goks, diba? So, so like comparing like CCS students to like other college students, like we sometimes there's some people kasi just don't really care about stuff that's happening. Like the most obvious one is like the stereotype that I see is like fashion wise. That's like one of the stereotypes that I firmly believe that's constant. Na, we don't.
T-shirts and jeans.
Yeah. We just like whatever is comfortable to us. Like we don't try to like dress up. No, I can't say that for all. There's definitely people who will want to dress up and stuff, but like majority of them are like, whatever's on top of my closet. Like, his t-shirt, pants. Okay, I'm done. That's basically like one of the. For me, that's like almost obvious like, stereotype that I have.
I think yung sinasabi ni Jeff na parang we have that distinct culture that we share with Eng is like we're super focused on ACADS na parang when we have MPs or stuff, like yun lang yung focus natin, and I can see that like diba, kahit kami we didn't reach yung phase na may Goks lobby, but we were also still in the library. We're always doing our MPs ganyan, and we always do it together. So I think yun yung sinasabi ni Jeff na we share with Eng, parang super ACADS wise people.
But I think it's just because that the requirements of like the Eng and CCS are very technical in terms of like, for example, the sequence and projects, which like forced us to be like to think like that and try to we're always just ACADS focused, because if you screw up in like even just a little bit, especially those big projects, you're gonna feel it the rest of the time.
Yeah, like those MPs that cost you like 50% of your grade. Yeah, not so fun.
Those
Not so fun for anyone at
those
all.
70% MPs.
Yeah. My goodness, never
My
again.
God.
Please save us.
Never. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Another big thing kasi related to ACADS that both CCS and ENG, I think a lot of the projects are like, especially for CCS past second year, it's like we're mostly focused on like group works, a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of like teamwork, not really on the written exams anymore. We're mostly about project based stuff already. So like, there's a lot of like, it requires a lot of cooperation between a lot of people. So that's why if you guys are in Goks, you always see like groups helping each other, studying code together, like coding together. So like we're really forced to really group up and help each other. Like it's really hard to go like solo in CCS because like it's definitely possible, but like it'll definitely help if you have like people to help you with like ACADS and projects. So yeah.
I think another culture din naman na I think same lang din with Eng is baka hindi din tayo masyadong grade conscious aside from compared to other colleges. I'm not saying na mas hindi difficult yung other colleges, pero parang nakikita ko from Freedom Wall, parang masyadong nagdadrama na yung mga ibang student when it comes to kunyari nakakuha lang ng 3.5 sobrang
I get your point, Alan.
sobrang gusto ko na nga ng 3.5 eh.
So, bro, naka one tayo sa MP. Okay na yan, paspasado.
True.
Okay na yan.
One is the goal.
That's
One
a
is the
CCS
goal.
mode. Bro, naka 2 tayo. Oh my god, I never expected to get the 2. My god. That was my mood last term. My goodness.
We also have those subjects that are 70% passing. So yeah.
Oh my god.
Those are the killer ones, I swear. Back to like, for example, with the Ang culture. Do you think that I don't know. For me, like I used to be part of a Ang org just for fun because I knew some people from there, and I realized that the culture feels a bit similar to like for like CCS. I joined their GA, and it feels like a bit like a bit of like a CCS vibe, but then it just feels a bit I don't know. It feels like. Okay, so this is how I would describe it. Like Ang people are like your big brothers, and then CCS is like your like the younger brother in this like family relationship. In terms of like the wildness, you feel it more with Ang compared to CCS. From my experience with Ang, you guys. So what do you guys think about that one?
I think they have more reason to be wild rather compared to us.
Honestly, true. Comparing like our load to Eng's load, I can't say anything because like honestly, Eng has a lot more going for them compared to us. So like when they're wild, I think they really deserve like all the fun, like the wildness that they have there.
Like go
more
ahead,
props to
you
them.
deserve to de-stress right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then us, it's just I don't know, go to Jollibee.
Basta yun. Basta yun, nasa Goks lang tayo.
Goks, 24 hours Goks.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess something that plays a part is the population because Eng really has so many people there.
Mhm.
Even during like 116 and 117, they were still one of the biggest colleges. So
Yep.
that plays a part in the wildness.
Going back to like the stereotypes, I think let's just dive deep into this already. Do you guys agree that CCS people are introverts?
I mean, in general, I think, yeah, well, there are those like really extroverted, the like, really minimal, extroverted CCS people, but like, they have to break out of their shell first, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, they have to get really comfortable before you can see like their extroverted side. So like, I know a couple of really extroverted people, like if you get to know them, but at first they're like really shy, introverted. They don't know what to say when they're talking to strangers or something like that. But like, in general, I guess CCS is mostly introvert people.
Yeah, for me, I agree rin na mostly introverted. But I don't think, like, we should see it as a bad thing naman na
Yeah,
parang
for sure.
yung sinasabi kaya ni Jeff na parang yung pagka-disconnected natin, I think that's the main thing then that contributes to that. Na parang people are not as outgoing than you compare to other colleges.
Yeah, like we're all surrounded by like other introverts. So like if you're introvert and you're surrounded by other introverts, so like nothing will push you to like to socialize. So like everyone has their own like bubble and everything. So like if someone tries to talk to you, you'll be like, why are you talking to me? What? Why are you talking to me? We're in Goks. Like, I know what. Sure, hi, but that's kind of weird. So like, yeah, I think everyone has their own personal bubble whenever they're just by themselves or with other people.
Because I think it's super like evident when you're like in a we call this like in a when you cross the list or you join with other colleges and you see that majority of those who are like the people there is going to be from the other colleges, and mostly that would be like the CLA and then the COB people in that ways.
Yeah, yung parati nagre-recite.
Oh my god, you know what? If there are CLA people like watching this, you know what? If you guys are in CCS section Gen Ed subject, we don't hear this from us, but we thank you so much for being there. We
Thank you for
appreciate,
reciting.
yeah, we really appreciate you guys for reciting because like a lot of us don't really unmute and we don't really recite. It's like some of us really don't know what to say at all. So like having someone being able to recite all the time at any moment was like, oh my god, you're such a blessing to us. You wouldn't notice
agree.
that, but really we thank you so much to all the CLA people out there.
Thank you for being the sacrificial lamb to us.
Grabe ka nun. Grabe ka naman.
Thank you
Hello,
for
as-
communicating with the teacher for us.
Yes, so much.
Oo nga. Mga bidal din
Yes.
sila.
I don't know. For you guys, we all have our reasons of like not wanting to recite, but for you personally, why do you guys don't feel like reciting, like compared to like the other people from other colleges? Why do you think we have that mindset of not wanting to speak out?
I think for me is that it's either two things. One, I actually really don't know what the answer is to the question, so I legit not unmute myself. Or two, I know it's kind of a bad thing to say. Like, I know I'm scared that I might be wrong when I answer. So like sometimes we're there's a lot of people, and if you say something wrong, to some it might not be a problem, but for me it's like I might want to like double check on my answer. Like I want to make sure na tama yung sagot ko when I try to answer it. So kasi siyempre you're like the only one talking in a room for like 40 people, so like napapressure din siya at some moments. So that's like one of it. I really want to be confident with my answer when I try to like unmute myself.
In relation to Jeff's answer, if this was back during face-to-face, maybe it would have been easier to recite because
Yeah,
you
for
can
sure.
see everyone's reactions. But
Yeah, we know
Now-
like, oh, does anyone know? Oh my
Yeah.
god, no one knows. No
like
one
you
knows
can
this
look
is
at
not
each
necessary.
other's faces. Do you know the
Yeah.
answer? Go answer, please, so that we can move on or something. But other than that, maybe it's also because maybe in general we're also shy to answer the question, to speak up, or yeah, maybe it's because we don't really know the answer other than what was the teacher saying before. Other than that, maybe it's also the fatigue. Like we've all had our share of sleepless nights. So, for example, you have a class right after pulling an all-nighter for an MP. I guess you won't concentrate on the class, of course.
True.
Wala nang energy.
Or you don't even have enough time to even study for that class at that point. You just focus too much on the MPs.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Because
no, you just do the MP
That's
during the
true.
class. Eh.
Oh, yes.
to
Oh
add to that
gosh.
then like comparing like online class and like face-to-face class, it's way more tiring to have an online class compared to like
Yes.
face-to-face class. Like saying that like nasa bahay ka lang doesn't mean you're gonna get tired. It's even extra tiring just staying home and like
Yeah,
having
it's
it.
much
So, like,
harder to keep up with the lessons.
yeah. And like if you like have to like go out kasi tinatawag ka ng parents mo or something, like kasi you have to skip like 5 minutes and you come back like what's happening? What's happening? I don't know what's happening. And then you get called all of a sudden, like, oh, I'm sorry, miss. I'm not. I wasn't. Got called something.
I think, yeah, like as you said, it's just that it's more tiring, especially when you can't distance, like you can't separate like ACADS and then your home life also anymore, because usually we isolate all of our ACADS back in like in the when you're in LaSalle, and then usually at home we just try to rest or just do some of the homeworks. Now it's all mixed up together at this point.
Agree.
Yeah, and you can't really avoid like things you have to do at home, especially if you have like chores.
Oh my god. Actually, I was want to say something is like, since I'm the one of the sa bahay namin, like I'm the one nearest kasi sa gate namin. Eh sobrang daming mga
Shopee.
delivery. Oh.
Same.
So ako yung
Yes.
ako yung
Yes.
person pag may doorbell or may tumatawag, it's like, hello? Sige po, lalabas po ako. Wait lang po. Like, I have to go up and mute myself in class, and like, I have to go out and accept the delivery. It's like, oh my goodness. It's so hassle. So, tapos siyempre you have to like wash your hands pa and everything. So like, dagdag oras pa like, you waste out of class. So it gets really tiring then. Like,
So the routine is like message someone, uy pa, ano,
paspat.
please listen first because may Shopee sa gate.
My delivery, it's not even my delivery, it's my parents' delivery. Pero paspat na lang, please, thank you.
Same though.
Oh my goodness.
It hasn't happened to me yet, but then we get like we're right now we're getting grocery deliveries now. So
Oh boy.
it hasn't happened yet where I have to go out of class just to process all the groceries. Just
Yeah,
for that.
tapos dagdag pa yung processing. Like, you have to wipe down pa lahat ng papasok. Like, all the stuff that goes in, you have to wipe it pa with alcohol or anything. So like, it wastes so much time.
Alright, going back to CCS culture and not.
We got segued there for a bit.
Yeah, that's fine, man. I
Yeah.
mean, like back to the thing. Do you guys think that? I don't know. For me, from my experience with CCS, it feels safer compared to like other colleges in terms of like the friendliness of people here is, they don't no one judges you that hard in CCS compared to like other colleges. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
true.
like accepting.
I think it's like something then like sinabi ko kanina, it's like each of us have our own personal bubble. So like, we don't care what you're doing and you shouldn't care what I'm doing. So like, we don't really mind what's happening around us. So like, it's like you do you, let me do my own thing. So it's just a really nice thing to have, I guess. So that it's a space so that everyone is like respects what they're doing. And it's a good thing that, even though someone does something weird in Goks or screams, like, oh, ay, okay lang yan. CCS and pa, okay lang yan. Okay, noted. Back to what I'm doing. So,
I
yeah.
think also. Oh, sorry.
Go lang.
No, I was gonna say it's just that not only that about the friendliness, like not minding people what people are, the bubble thing. I think that there's a lot of helping out, and especially with terms of like MPs, like we ask each other for like help in debugging, not just like within our batch, but also the upper batchment would help us in a way, and I think that's such a unique thing a bit for CCS because this is coding aspect.
Yeah. That's like one of the things I missed din sa Nook. Like, when wala lang, nakatambay lang, tapos may papasok na tao na, can you guys help with code? Like, I don't know how to do this. Like,
Marunong
patulong.
ba
Like,
kayo
sige, G.
neto?
Wait lang.
You look for Stanley and
Sorry,
decide.
wait
Stanley,
lang.
Wait lang, saan si
Stanley.
John? May class B si Stanley ngayon. May class B si Stanley. Tawagan natin. Sige. Patulong, Stanley. Thank you.
Thank you, Stanley.
Well,
I need your help.
other than just the Nook, actually, the Goks lobby is very unique to not LSCS. I'm sorry, to CCS. Very unique to CCS because like having the Goks lobby where everyone could interact, everyone could share their ideas or learn together. It's quite a huge difference compared to other colleges. Like you can see other colleges there, of course, but it's mostly being used by CCS students. So I think that's pretty unique to us in a way.
I think also because like most of us stays in Goks lobby, And then if ever we need to ask help, you just have to walk a bit ahead and you say, "Oh, can you help me here?" Then afterwards, or even sometimes when you want to do like a group MP or something, you get all the benches and you form into one big table already, just so that everyone
yeah,
can sit
goodness.
together.
It's true. Or if you just need some help, just go a couple of benches away. It's like, hey, have you done this already?
Yeah, basically, but walang hiyaan actually anymore. Like, when you know the deadline of a certain coding is due na, we're not shy anymore to ask for help, even though like it's someone that we're not really close to in our batch or someone another batch. So like, we always like willing to ask them for help, and like most of the time, when you get asked for help, like most of the people like actually try to help you, even though they're not really good at coding. They try their best to like actually help you and try to figure it out. It's like the rubber ducky method. At least try to talk to them, like to give them ideas or something like that. So like, it's I think that's one good stereotype, I guess, for CCS. Like, we all know the suffering that everyone's going through right now. So like, you know what? I know how you feel, so let me just help you. So like, I think that's one of the great things that we have in CCS as a college, actually.
For you guys, the 119, because I know you guys didn't get to like fully experience Goks, right? Is it still being followed? Do you guys feel like it's being followed within your batch also?
The Goks lobby thing, I'm not sure if we can like fully relate, but I get like yung Planet Goks thing na, diba it was like called Planet Goks because there's like a barrier of culture when you get to Goks, ganun. So, yeah, I think I can still feel it naman. It's just not in the Goks lobby. Gets ba?
It's in the learning commons.
I think rin I think dinadala na rin kasi natin yung culture natin within us, hindi lang sa Goks lobby. Kaya nakikita rin yung relationship when it comes to parang may sarili tayong mundo as CCS people.
Other than that, I guess I think it's just that wait, my brain's a bit dead also. Might as well make this a segue about the Sabawness of CCS.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, the infamous Sabawness of CCS,
Oh,
wow.
which is I mean like that's what we're known for also in a way. About the
Something interesting about that is like as soon as you enter Goks lobby, Goks itself, as soon as you enter, you'll just immediately experience the CCS Sabawness. Sa ID tapping pa lang.
Kuya Guard. Oh, we miss Kuya Guard. Oh my goodness. Regarding the Sabawness, if you guys want to see, like a good stereotype of Sabawness, feel free to watch CCS Proofs. One of the
Oh my God.
older,
Oh no.
You know what we made?
one of the older videos that we made in LCS.
Me and
I mean-
Jeff made it.
What's that?
Oh, you
my
guys don't
God.
know what CCS
Oh
Proof
my God,
is?
yeah, I know that.
Oh
I'll
my
send it to you
goodness.
later.
So basically, me, Jarrett, and like other pubs people, we tried to make like this CCS stereotype series called CCS Proofs. So it's basically like a few videos stating about the different stereotypes. It's like the first video was regarding like it's a National Geographic documentary. Like, we can, as you can see, we keep here a CCS student
Natural
in his natural habitat. So like, it was gonna be a really great if you guys can like watch it.
I'll
It's really
send it to
funny.
you guys later.
Yeah.
No,
It's gonna be
what's
really
the
funny.
funniest thing is about that? Remember, originally we were supposed to make sketches, right?
Yeah.
But we were so lazy to make the video. We just got from your
Yeah, I
bag,
just
your
took
bag
random.
of, like,
Literally
videos.
just took. I just literally went into the Nook and went into the Goks lobby. I just pressed record, and I just filmed people literally, and really weird Sabaw stuff happened. I'm like, you know what? This is good enough for CCS proofs. This is basically CCS. So like,
Because it's actually true. Because
yeah, it's so true. Like we're just not really Sabaw. If we record it all, like there's so many funny moments that we don't even realize. Like, oh my God, sabog natin. What are we even doing? There's like no script at all or anything. So-
it's people will think like, oh, this is such a good parody. Turns out it's not even a parody.
It's not
just
even
the
parody. It's
legit-
real. It's just literally just like
It's just some
real life.
random CCS nonsense.
Wait, did you guys
Basically, yeah.
attend? remember we attended the year end. So we attend you, me, Jeff, and Sean. Remember the year end ball thing, the video.
The year-end ball one.
Oh yeah.
There.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
we made
yeah.
two. We made two videos for that. One was the
Yeah.
serious video, and then the other one.
you're right. God.
And that was so somehow.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god. That's just straight up just
Uh,
pure what the heck is happening at all.
yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the Sabawness of CCS students. It's really like, heartfelt and like it's really enlightening. Siyempre, po stress tayo sa mga coding and MPs. So like, being able to be sabaw whenever you want to is great. Like even without people judging you, like you don't know, I don't know, like you just scream out of nowhere or just like do really weird moves and Goks like, alright, let him enjoy. Sure, why not? You do you. Like,
Or just sleep on the bench.
yes.
Sleep on a bench, play Tekken, or I don't know. I'm just
Someone
thinking.
randomly shouting callouts for games.
Who's behind you? Do what are you doing? Hoy, tahimik kayo. Ingay nyo. Good
It's
times.
good times, I guess.
I miss Goks.
Are you that student who feels overwhelmed with academics, org work, and household chores? Join us as we join David, journeying with his stress in academics, org work, and household responsibilities at Mental Health Awareness Week from May 10 to 14, 2021. For more details, visit us at facebook.com/LaSalle Computer Society.
The views and opinions of the hosts and resource persons do not represent those of the organization, the university, and its stakeholders. Viewer discretion is advised. Let me pose this question to you guys already. Like, you think that with new Goks, you've seen the new pictures of Goks, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
the
sir.
newly
For sure.
renovated.
You think that's gonna affect how CCS culture will be going forward at that? Because I think there's gonna be fewer chairs now compared to how it was before.
Either way, CCS is gonna occupy that.
Nah, I feel like the other colleges might like, go attend.
And that's
Yeah,
it's gonna be
I
first
feel-
come first serve, I guess.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
So, yeah. To the CCS people, make sure you reserve it for us.
Pero, for me, I think... Pero, yeah, personally, I think that the new Goks lobby was somewhat affected. Because ayun nga like, the number of chairs is like heavily reduced. And like, it's a much narrower space compared to old Goks. So like, you can't really just crowd all in one spot. It's gonna be harder to do that. Since siyempre may classrooms on one side tapos may mock Goks pa sa kabila. So like, it's gonna be a bit harder. Yeah, cause like the chairs are like for like solo sitters lang kasi. Benches kaya you can fit like 3 to 4 people in one bench diba? So like, it's a bit a lot more people. So this one, siyempre other colleges then will want to like check out the new Goks. So like, there won't be not much room for everyone. It's gonna get really crowded in new Goks whenever we have face to face, which will not happen in our stay, sadly.
But I think also some people don't think about just the plugs there. You won't be able to charge as much as before.
Oh god, true. I just really hope they put floor plugs or wall plugs around it because it's a CCS building. Come on.
You need
Come
the
on, just put
charger for your
plugs.
laptops.
Yeah, if they don't put plugs, it's kind of sad.
Going next, I guess. Do you think there's some aspects of CCS that you guys don't like? Like honestly, among us CCS people so far.
Meron ako. Siguro, the fact na I think most of us are night owls, sort of, since most of CCS students, I think, tend to be more functional during the night. Kasi syempre, we have all-nighters in for MPs or other assignments that we have. And I think yung ganong kind of like mood for our body parang hindi siya healthy in a way. Kaya I think it's a bad aspect rin.
See, to add to Alan's point, like ever since high school, like I'm guy who tries to like get stuff done early. Like pagka may homework na due pa next week Thursday or something, like kung madali lang sa and I'm not doing anything else, so like sure, why not? Tapusin ko na, something like that. So siyempre in CCS, like we're mostly doing group works and then stuff like that. So you obviously can't like um do it all in your way, siyempre. So this is something that I had to adapt to and had to learn how to adjust myself to. It's like I accepted the fact that a lot of CCS students don't really start doing their stuff early. So like they wait for like, a week or like a few days or a few hours before the actual submission. So like I know that that's like one of the for me that's like one of the bad stereotypes, but it's something that I can't really complain about. Like it's their thing, it's their way of that's their lifestyle. Like basta ma-submit yung assignment, okay lang. So like I try my best to like adjust to these kinds of people. Like I make sure na basta planado yung kang gawin. Like okay, you do your stuff, I do my stuff. Make sure by ito tapos na, something like that. So like I don't want to really impose like my own like way of studying or doing stuff on other people. So like I guess in the real world it's a kind of a bad stereotype, but like it's something that they're professional crammers, and sometimes I respect those people also for being able to pull like one night coding sessions and like finishing it, like oh my god, you're a god for being able to do that. So like I don't hate them. It's just that some kind of bad stereotype, but I've learned to accept it already.
For me, I'm actually a night owl when it comes to coding. So I like to start like around 10 o'clock. And well, nowadays, that's how I see it. Especially, I got that habit when I started in Compro 1, when we were doing the first MP, which I only got it already around like 3 a.m. Like I understood what was supposed to happen. And then I got the answers there. And I think it's just that for me, when it's at night, everyone's asleep. So it's like all my thoughts already with me, and then I can just concentrate on the code
Yeah, you're
itself.
like very focused already, and like there's like no one to disturb you since like your parents are like sleeping already. It's like you have complete focus on everything. Kasi in the morning or afternoon, pang tinatawag ka, or if you do something, may chores ka or something. So yeah, I think I would agree. Yeah, I would also do a lot of stuff, especially coding at nighttime too.
Right. I don't know. For me, like I don't like for like personally, I don't like coding with other people inside the room. It just feels like they're gonna be there. They might. I don't know. For me, it's like a bit of distraction. All right. Where's it though? I'm thinking already because.
Actually, I mean, true. Cause like there's some moments when you're coding with other people. Siyempre, there are people who are like more fast paced, or like who know how to code better than you. So pang um when you hear other people like discussing their code, like oh ito pala, it's madali lang, just do this, do that, do this, like tapos ikaw like I don't know how to do the main function, excuse me. Yeah, so, parang like you feel really behind and like down na, pang napapressure ka na like oh they're so far ahead already tapos ako nandito pa. So like I get what you feel na you like coding on your own well for me on the other, like but I don't like coding or studying in school like in the salon mismo. It's like I won't be able to focus, I'll get pressured, something like that. So I would always like prefer to like study at home by myself, like peace and quiet.
I think the difference in ability, yeah, it's quite a thing to look out for, especially since, for example, like as what Jeff mentioned, like the team, like working in teams, and if someone is working way faster than you and you can't really keep up, it's actually quite pressuring. So, in a way, like for example, now that we're in online classes and you actually get to dictate your own pace, sometimes a blessing, but it's also quite a pain as well because it's harder to communicate online.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I can relate yung so parang pacing sa house, like it's better. But I can't study naman properly in the day since nga ang dami pinapagawa and stuff. So I can relate dun sa parang night owl. So parang nakaaral na ako ng mga 2 a.m. ganyan. Alam ni Allen yan, pareho kami nag-aaral ng ganong oras. And then, pero din naman sa sinabi ni Jeff na I think it's bad, but I'm not one of the people who do homeworks early, like if it's like a week later pa. Since like, priorities, but ayun. I don't think it's that bad din naman if you can
True.
make it bawi.
Yeah, and the end naman, it's really all about the priorities, siyempre. Like, siyempre, not everyone's the same, and they have their different priorities. So I think it's really more about, like, you set your priorities, like, how you can basically time manage yourself. Siyempre, basta what's the important thing in the end naman is masabit mo yung homework, di ba?
As long as you contribute, no?
Dami yan. Doesn't mean, no matter if you do it early or do it late, basta may
Basta matapos.
Hindi ba?
That's true.
Hindi basta may pero ayun, basta masubmit siya. Dami yan.
Let's try to wrap things up and just think of some stuff that kind of unique to us. I think there's one thing that we don't necessarily think of. It's just that our food preferences in TAF are different than others because of the location.
What? Is that
That's
true?
very true.
I mean like where do you guys eat? Like honestly, what's the food place you go to? Agno?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think
Honestly,
that's
A lot of people, I think the number one food for CCS is siyempre pancit canton, di ba? So like,
You can never go wrong with that.
tama yan,
Pancit canton, you know.
yung may tao na papasok sa klase na may hawak na
pancit
pancit
canton.
canton. Hoy, labas. Labas.
Mas ang lakas ng amoy.
Everyone's gonna look at that person.
Hindi po fair yung pinasabihan. Ako, like, if someone with the pancit canton goes inside, oh my god, dude, can you go outside? It's smelling the entire room. Pinamake us all hungry. Like, please don't.
actually like the 12 like the straight classes ones.
Yeah.
From like 10:45 until then.
You'll just see some random person eating food outside of in the corridor.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna eat inside, make sure na hindi maamoy yung pagkain. Then it's fine. Basta hindi maamoy. Goodness gracious.
I think Acno is like the number one. I think like at least for like the most I would say like the light half. It's really Agno. Because like we rarely go to like Belomen or you go to like just even like what's the place called again? Pericos, yeah. It's just like it's too far. It's either
Agno's
that.
literally
Much
beside
faster.
us. Yeah, Agno's literally across the street, so like, why not?
And if ever like that, if you're feeling like spicy, you go to like Subway or something or or Starbucks. At least Starbucks is close to us.
Yeah, well, yeah, in a way too. For CCS, I think like one like stereotype food would be like we're not really the healthiest college.
True.
The food that we eat isn't really healthy. I mean, in the first place, there are not as many healthy food
In
like
Taft.
stalls in
Yeah.
Taft in the first place. There's like only what do you call that? The healthy something.
Happy and healthy.
There you go, happy and healthy. That's like one of the only like quote unquote healthy stalls there.
Wait, is that what it's called? I forgot. Because they changed their name, so I forgot.
Basta something
I forgot
healthy.
which one is the
Something
name.
healthy. Basta may healthy pa sa pangalan.
Yung may gulay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Basta
may
yun,
gulay.
may gulay.
My goodness, yung may tuna. So like, we're surrounded by a lot of like, fried junk food. So like, if Ministop and 7-Eleven and you have like Agno with fried food, like the chips, the potato, what do you call those? I forgot.
Pot pots.
Yeah, there you go, pot pots. Oh my god, it's been a while. Pot pots, and they have iced tea. So like, it's so like tempting to us. It's like, it's cheaper siyempre. Diba?
And actually, well, to be honest, our eating times are usually weird, especially if it's like MP season. So sometimes you even forget to eat.
True, we do. Also, when there was a hiatus in Goks so pwede bang kumain sa Goks or hindi? I remember we had the phase na we weren't allowed to eat in
Oh
Goks.
yeah, I remember that.
That
were
was
sick,
one
we were like-
time.
Yeah,
like when
that was
DOs were going around and telling people that you're not supposed to eat in Goks.
yeah.
What? Bawal
And-
kumain? Sa loob?
Dati.
Yeah,
Dati.
at one point,
At one
dati.
point, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Tapos, I remember the CSG made something. They tried to fight for the right to eat in Goks. So, I remember that they actually won that. Kaya right now, like, we're able to actually
Like
eat.
in study areas in general, you can eat
Yeah.
except for the one na air-conditioned sa Andrew, I believe.
Yeah, basta kung air-conditioned, I don't think bawal food. So, kung yung New Goks has aircon, kinda... oh
Baka
no.
bawal kumain.
Yeah, baka bawal kumain sa New Goks, sadly. I mean, pwede like chip, like candy and water, but bawal like, food feeling ko mismo. Hopefully, I don't know.
What? But don't
Let's see.
people eat in the classrooms though?
Yun nga, pero that's like one
Some
or two
profs,
people.
that's the thing.
Kasi
Some
the profs will
kasi are
allow it.
understanding sa ganun eh. Kasi, some students have their schedules that are very connected, like 15-minute break lang. So, okay, go
Yeah.
ahead and eat na.
Oh.
Kasi,
Something I just
Yeah.
want to add real quick. I'll say something about like CCS Professors stereotypes.
What?
I think that
Careful.
CCS. I
Okay.
know. Don't worry, it's a positive thing. I think that CCS professors are a bit more laid back
Yes.
when it comes to stuff like this. It's like most of the CCS professors were, of course, like graduates of CCS ng Lasal din. So like they know how we're feeling also as students. So like they understand na, they short break, we don't have much time to eat, stuff like that. So like I think CCS profs are really understanding to like a lot of like CCS students, which I really appreciate. Like they can like adjust a bit. But they're also like strict then about it, which I understand. Still, they're more understanding for us.
I think the CCS profs, like compared to like what I hear from my high school friends like that, I always feel that like CCS profs are just nicer in a way. Like especially even with my experiences with some profs, they're really like understand. Yeah, like I said, understanding, and then sometimes they'll give you like sometimes extensions. So.
Sometimes like some CCS profs, even though you think they're strict, but like deep inside, like when you actually try to talk to them one-on-one, they're actually really nice people. It's just that we don't. It's just sometimes hard to really see that, and like they really shine if they're like talking like one-on-one, when you try to like ask for consultation. When like a lot of profs are like really like open to helping us out. So yeah, I think it's great to like see that side of professors from time to time. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree rin. Like, lalo na nung face-to-face, I was blockmates with Allen kasi nung face-to-face. So, and a lot of our blockmates were like, I didn't know na parang bawal kumain or something kasi we always eat during class. Like, may kanin pa, ganun.
Yes, okay lang yan.
I didn't know.
I really appreciate CCS profs. Ooh.
Do you, other than Goks, do you guys, for you consider Andrew as another building for us?
I mean, we're forced to.
That's the only like thing that unites all colleges is that you have to go to Andrew at one point.
because
In your stay.
yeah, that's the building with the most floors.
Most floors, and then you have to go there for your computer lab sessions.
My God, when we had our lab class in Andrew, like
Yes.
why?
And then we had to
I was
walk-
actually surprised like the first time. Like, yeah, there's a lab here. There's a comp lab in Andrew. Like,
Oh,
what the
I
hell?
don't know nga eh. There's a lab pala there.
Yeah, there's
We
a
didn't
comp lab in
experience
Andrew.
it.
Yeah, I was so surprised also when a class was assigned.
We
Like,
had
why are we
like
going to
one
Andrew
or
for a
two
major?
classes there.
We had
Yeah,
two
we
classes there, I remember. I just remember one time when, of course, like when then we have to go to the next class, and it was like 15 minutes between the two, and we have to walk down the stairs at that point. I just remember that.
God, to
Our
those
prof
who's
naman was
too-
understanding. Like, on the first time we were there, it's like, Miss,
Yeah.
galing kami Andrew. It's like, okay.
Okay, understandable.
Automatic.
But to the people who actually study and like stay in Andrew like every day, like, bless your souls for keeping up with the elevator and stairs.
I remember before, grabe, the first time we had like a lab class in Andrew, I remember running up the stairs para hindi malate. So I used to
True.
even keep track of the time that it takes for me to go up.
Speed one.
Legit, like the fastest that I did was 3 minutes or so, 3 minutes 30 seconds, mga ganun. And by the time I got up to the room, I instantly regret my decision because I can't even focus talaga because of the fatigue.
Yeah.
What floor is the lab on?
17.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why you guys have to be really early. Pagka 12 o'clock in class mo, sa Andrew, you're kind of screwed a bit already. Say, pagka 12 to 1, sobrang traffic na sa elevator kahit anong oras. So, like, you have to really plan ahead na,
Like 30 minutes before you get to your
yeah,
class.
if
you
you
have
have
to be there.
class so in Goks and if Andrew, you have to run immediately. Just to make sure you get 15 minutes to get to the class because you use up the entire 15 minutes talaga. So,
So I guess let's just wrap. Let's wrap up already. Do you guys have anything to add on about CCS culture?
I think the only thing is like, don't have to. I mean, stay as who you are. I guess just be who you are. Don't think you have to change anything at all with your culture. Because like, I really appreciate how open and lighthearted or the CCS culture is. I don't know. It's like it's not gonna be the same, especially if you're going back to like from face-to-face classes. I don't know if the culture will be the same since both 119 and 120 don't have as much experience with face-to-face classes. So there's gonna be a lot of like adjustments for these two batches or these possibly three batches for being able to adjust to as well. So it'll be really interesting to see what will happen to the culture of CCS. But feeling ko it's gonna stay the same. Na sabog, nasabaw people just hang around in Goks. So I just really hope it's gonna be the same.
Eating, taking food. Yeah, I think that I think the Sabawness will continue. I'm not sure if it's gonna stay in Goks because of the new
Yeah.
the remodeling of Goks, but I think that the culture will still be the same. And I hope it does because I feel that I don't know. For me, Goks it feels like another high school for me. Like I don't
True.
because I never like when I entered there. I was like when I entered college, I was actually scared. Like what's the culture gonna be like? Will they accept my weirdness and stuff like that? Then when you enter CCS, first thing first. I'm still introverted, so I didn't say hi to any of the batchmen. So yeah, I don't know. And then in our block, we were also quiet. But then over time, the everyone started to bond. And I feel like it's. I'm very happy. I chose comsci as my course, and then get to meet everyone here, because there's a lot of great people in Goks, and I hope. I know it's not possible, but I hope maybe like if ever there's a chance I can get to see you guys like face to face again one day. Either
Sure.
no class, either maybe not as a class, but maybe as a graduate at least.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
I guess like with all of the recent like things going on around the world and the online classes, I think our culture is still gonna evolve, I guess. Especially since by the time now we can finally go back to DLSU. I'm not sure who else will be left. Maybe for sure the 119 or 120 maybe there, but I guess yeah, it's going to be another, as Jeff said, another time to adjust because by that time you have to get used to going to school. You have to interact with people again properly and listen to class. So it's gonna be
This is good class.
another gonna be interesting.
Boy, grabe.
Hey, it's gonna be another interesting thing to see, because by the time we get back, we're all gonna be different or something. So it's gonna be nice to see how the CCS culture is gonna change and how it's going to evolve from what it was when we were back in face to face classes. Yeah.
There's something to add, like, real quick. It'll just be funny to see, like, 119, 120, and 121. Like, seeing them go to face, like, not all the three batches don't know where anything is in the Lasal. So like, it'll be really funny.
Uy, alam naman namin. Alam
I
naman
mean,
namin.
I mean, yeah. Well, especially for those who had senior high in Asal. So like, but there are a lot of people, a lot of people who like who don't know their way around Lasal. So I can't imagine like the upper batsmen who are still there. Like, oh, do you know where this is? Like, I'm 119, but I don't know where this is. Like, that's gonna be really funny.
Imagine that. Kunyari, you're third year or fourth year na, tapos ganun yung nangyari.
Yun nga, that'll be really funny. But you know what? Understandable.
First of all, I can relate naman with Jarrett kasi I was really scared then when entering college. Like, yeah, I'm really scared about if I'll be able to adopt well sa CCS and syempre its culture and other people. But fortunately enough naman, with my block friends and also yung mga orgs na that I currently working with, I think I can feel at home then. And also then, in relation with what Jeff said, we shouldn't be too conscious about these stereotypes, especially if we feel na we have these quote unquote stereotypes. Rather, we should focus on being ourselves and syempre not let others define who we are. And yeah, same rin na I'm really looking forward then to the new Goks. If ever before mag-graduate kami, may face-to-face classes na. And yeah, also looking forward with what would happen sa culture natin ngayon. Kasi definitely it will evolve.
For me naman, I think kahit mag-change naman when we get back to school na parang, may mga 120 they haven't seen to the campus and everything. I think something that won't change with the CCS culture is that we all have our own world, pero once we have to socialize through ACADS or orgs or kung ano bang mga similarities natin like through anime or gaming, ganyan. I think that's what brings us together and yun yung hindi mawawala sa atin even if mag-change yung culture natin. So yun. As a person then who entered college na I didn't really associate with myself with the typical CCS culture. Like now, biglang nag-anime na ako, ganyan. Tapos nag-Valorant na ako. Dati hindi naman ako nagaganyan.
Welcome. Welcome.
Ayun. It's nice then kasi I can feel din yung parang home sa CCS, ganyan. Na parang hindi ko naman in-expect na ma-feel dati.
Yeah, I agree. Well, last thing to say, Goks is a very homey place to be in. Like, parang bahay lang siya. We all feel at home when we're in Goks. Like we can do as much, I mean, not everything that we want, but a lot of stuff freely. So I think that's one of the greatest things, or the stereotypes of like CCS na we always feel at home when we're in Goks. So yeah.
Yeah, and to anyone like entering the CCS culture, like if you think na hindi kayo like mag-fit in, parang hindi mo rin maiwasan na may something na mag-relate ka sa ibang tao here. So, yun.
Thank you guys for this wonderful discussion. To our listeners, take what we say with a grain of salt. I don't think we said anything that bad anyway in this discussion, thankfully. And I hope you enjoyed our discussion. So join us again in the Inner Nook for another discussion. Until then, good night and goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
The views and opinions of the hosts and resource persons do not represent those of the organization, the university, and its stakeholders. Viewer discretion is advised.